الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له اللطيف الكريم الرحمن الرحيم، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله الناصح الأمين. اللهم صل على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تمسك بسنته إلى يوم الدين. ثم أما بعد، يا عباد الله، التوحيد أهم شيء. Tawheed is the most important thing. We continue going over the anwa' of ibadah, the categories and types of worship, and we have reached al-khawf, fear. وقال الشيخ العلامة شيخ صالح الفوزان حفظه الله تعالى: الخوف من أعمال القلوب. That fear, it is from the actions of the heart. And this is something that is important for us to know and to remember, that Iman, what is considered faith in the deen of Al-Islam, Al-Iman qawlun wa amalun yazidu wa yanqus. Qawlun wa amalun yazid bi ta'atillah wa yanqusu bil ma'asiyah. That Iman is a statement and an action. It increases and it decreases. A statement and an action that increases with obedience to Allah. The one is obedient to Allah, his Iman, his faith will increase. And it decreases with disobedience. When one is disobedient to Allah and he comes with sin, that sin will decrease his Iman. Iman qawlun, a statement, wa amalun, an action. Qawlul qalb wa amalul qalb, a statement of the heart and an action of the heart. Qawlul lisan wa amalul jawarih. Qawlul lisan wa amalul jawarih, a statement of the tongue and an action upon the limbs. This is Iman. Ala kulli hal, khawf, fear, is an amal, is an action of the heart. An action of the heart. وَهُوَ عِبَادَةٌ قَلْبِيَّةٌ, and it is a worship that is done with one's heart. فَالْمُرَادُ خَوْفُ الْعِبَادَةِ, and what is intended here by the Shaykh's statement and including it with the anwa' of ibadah, then he means the khawf al-ibadah, the fear that is worship. Not the khawf tabi'i, not the natural fear, but he's talking about the fear that is worship. The Shaykh, he goes on to elaborate and further explain. وَهُوَ خَوْفُ الَّذِي يَكُونُ مَعَهُ تَعْظِيمٌ وَمُحَبَّةٌ لِلْمَخُوفِ. He goes on to explain what type of fear we're speaking about. We're speaking about the type of fear that is coupled with a glorification and a love for the one in which you're fearful of. So it's a fear that is coupled with a glorifying and an exaltation and love for the one that you are fearful of. يُحِبُّهُ وَيُخَافُهُ, you love him and you fear him. هذا خوف العبادة. This is what it means, or this is the type of fear that is a fear that is from worship. وَيُسَمَّى خَوْفُ السِّرِّ, and it's also been called the secret fear, that hidden fear. وَهُوَ لَا يَجُوزُ إِلَّا لِلَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ, it is not permissible to direct or to have such a fear except for Allah جل وعلا. فَالَّذِي يَخَافُ مِنْ مَخْلُوقٍ خَوْفُ الْعِبَادَةِ فَإِنَّهُ أَشْرَكَ. So whoever fears a created thing, with the khawf of ibadah, this secret khawf sir, then this individual, he has made shirk. This individual, he has made shirk. Na'am. And the Shaykh, he goes on, he says, وَإِذَا عَمْلَ لَهُ نُوعًا مِنْ أَنْوَاعِ الْعِبَادَةِ لأنه يخاف مثل الذي يخاف من الجن فيذبح لهم أو الذي يخاف من الميت فيذبح له وما أشبه ذلك. Like for example, the one who is scared with the type of fear that makes him give a category from the category of worship to the one that he's fearing from those created things. For example, the one who he's scared of a jinn, so therefore he sacrifices to the jinn, so the jinn won't bother him and the like. The one who's scared of a person who is dead in his grave, so therefore he sacrifices for that one who is dead in his grave and the like. And bil asad, ma'al asad shadid, with great regret, we have this in the ummah. We have this in the ummah. As is well known for some of the individuals who make shirk with their awliya, who make shirk with their awliya, their quote-unquote patron saints and the like, you will find that some of them will have pictures of these mashayikh or these awliya, quote-unquote. And if a person were to come and they were to rip up and tear up that picture, they will become scared that now something might happen to you. If a person were to come and were to tear down the picture, as some of them have the pictures inside of their masajid from those who have been afflicted with the bid'ah of tasawwuf, and they have the picture of their shaykh in the masjid, if a person were to come and to rip down the picture, to burn the picture, tear up the picture, they will become scared that now something bad might happen to that person because he disrespected the picture of the shaykh. You even had an incident, as one of the ulama, they explained how when they were visiting Tanta in Misr, Tanta, Egypt, that it was an individual who was asking for money outside of the masjid of Sayyid Badawi. So when the individual gave them money, they began to thank Sayyid Badawi to say some words of shirkiyah directed towards Sayyid Badawi. At this point, the one who had given the money, he took his money back. He said, return to me the money. I did not give you the money so that you can make shirk billah. From that point, a person who was hearing this, he became fearful. He became scared. Because he thought, now, because you have done that, Sayyid Badawi is going to get us now. Sayyid Badawi is going to get us. This is the fear, shirkiyah. This is the fear that is shirkiyah. Likewise, from the fear that is shirkiyah, it is like that which the kuffar, they teach their children in these days right now. Around this time, when they're about to celebrate the celebration of Christmas, based on paganism and kufr and shirk, and they tell their children about Santa Claus. You better watch out. You better not cry to the end of it. Making their children scared of a person who don't exist. Making their children scared of one of their saints who dead a long time from now. Depending upon what they think and what they believe in regards to who this man Kris Kringle was and the like. But you find the children are scared of some fat man inside of a jolly big red cloak and the like. Scared of him when the man is not there. If they're referring to the saint, that they made a saint, the man is dead. Scared of him for what? What can he do? So this is what the Shaykh is talking about now. And this is just a reminder during these days to remind us of the evil of Christmas, to remind us of the shirk and paganism that is connected to it and where it came from. So don't you dare give a Christmas present. Don't you dare accept a Christmas present. Don't you dare wish someone a Merry Christmas, and don't you dare reciprocate when they wish you one and tell them you too. Because this will be you acknowledging, this will be you accepting that practice. This will be as if you are saying to them that there's nothing wrong with this practice, I acknowledge it and I accept it as well, and this is why you're participating with this with them. Do not do this, but rather call them to Tawheed, call them to fear Allah Ta'ala, call them to that which is correct, call them to the deen of al-Islam, and you will never be able to establish Islam by way of kufr. You're not going to guide a person to Islam by eating down and eating Thanksgiving dinner with them. You're not going to guide a person and to call a person to Islam by celebrating Christmas with them and the like. Call them to Islam. Ala kulli hal. This type of fear that they have, this fear of sir, they fear the one dead in his grave that he can do something to them. They fear the one who was not present in the like. Then this is from shirk. The Shaykh, he says, whoever does this, whoever fears the jinn, or they fear the one who is dead, with this type of fear, the fear that's ibadah, فَإِنَّهُ يَكُونُ مُشْرِكًا شِرْكِ الْأَكْبَرِ, then verily he will be one who is a polytheist, who had committed major polytheism, major shirk. وَأَمَّا الْخَوْفُ طَبِيعِي, but with regards to al-khawf al-tabi'i, and this is why you find the deen of al-Islam. Sure, this is how you find Ahlul Sunnah. Naam, the middle course. The middle course. Naam. Because the reality is that you have a fear that's from ibadah, and you have a fear that's tabi'i, natural. No one is going to be harmed because he has a natural fear. So you don't find the Muslim, the Sunni, you don't find him telling the people it's not permissible for you to be scared. You don't find that. But they tell them what? Don't be scared, but the type of fear, or don't have the fear, the type of fear that's shirkiyah. Don't have a fear that's shirkiyah. Don't have a polytheistic fear. But with regards to the fear that's natural, there's nothing wrong with the natural fear. And this is how you find the Muslim. This is how you find the Sunni, Athari, Salafi, like this in the middle, putting everything in its proper place. That fear that we have for ibadah, that fear of ibadah, that we give that to Allah and Allah Ta'ala alone. Now, because we're scared of Allah Ta'ala more than anything else. But in regards to a natural fear, then it's okay for you to be scared. The Shaykh, he says, كَأَن تَخَافُ مِنْ عَدُوٍ, like a person, he fears the enemy. The enemy. A person will have a natural fear to be fearful of the enemy, because he knows the enemy intends for him harm. The enemy intends to do harm to him and the like, so he's scared. This type of fear is okay. Likewise, the Shaykh, he says, وَتَخَافُ مِنْ السُّبَاعِ, and likewise, he may be scared of a predatory animal and the like. This is a natural fear. If a person, he's in the woods and he's hunting and the like, he comes out of his tent and he finds in front of him a grizzly bear. What are we going to tell the man? Oh, you better, why are you scared? Don't be scared of a grizzly bear. Of course he's going to be scared with a natural fear, because he knows the harm that the grizzly can inflict upon him. So this is a natural fear. A person, he comes out and he's in the savannah and he runs into a lion. Of course he's going to be fearful and the like, because of he knows the damage the lion can do to him. A person is inside of the ocean and he sees the fin of the shark. Of course he's going to be fearful, because he knows what the shark can do to him. Person here down in Florida, he's inside of the lake and the like, and he sees a crocodile, alligator. Of course he's going to be fearful, because he knows what that animal can do to him. This fear is natural fear. Nothing wrong with this type of fear, that a person, he will have a fear from the likes of these predatory animals and the like. So it's important that we understand what type of fear is allowed and what type of fear is not allowed. It's important that we understand what type of fear is from ibadah and what type of fear is natural. So that the fear that's from ibadah, we give it to Allah and Allah Ta'ala alone. And that fear that is natural, then it's okay to have that natural fear and the like. Inshallah Ta'ala, this is clear to us. بإذن فأقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولجميع المسلمين الأحياء منهم والأموات فاستغفروه فإنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. The Shaykh goes on, the Imam, the Mujaddid Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab rahimahullah ta'ala, to mention next وَالرَّجَاء, and hope. And hope. Shaykh Fawzan rahimahullah ta'ala, he says, من أنواع العبادة الرجاء. From the categories of ibadah is الرجاء, hope. وهو تأميل الخير فيما لا يقدر عليه إلا الله. This is important. Now we understand what type of hope we're speaking about. What type of hope is from ibadah. The Shaykh, he says, and it is to want something that is good, to long for and to hope for something that is good from those things that none has the ability to grant you them except Allah. So for the person who hopeful for the Jannah, then this hope has to be connected to Allah and Allah alone. because only Allah grants the Jannah. A person who hopes to escape the fires of hell, then his hope is restricted to Allah, because only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will save the servant from going to hell. Only Allah can prevent the servant from going to hell. No one else. No one else. And this is a very important point to mention, because you have from the Sufiyya those who have been afflicted with the bid'ah of at-tasawwuf, those who believe that their mashayikh and their awliya can prevent them from going to the hellfire. As Shaykh Salih Suhaimi, hafidhahullah ta'ala, he mentions that you have some of them who made statements, some of their mashayikh, Sufi mashayikh, they made statements saying, on the day of judgment I will put my tent over the hellfire and I will stop the people from going in it. This is what one of the Sufi mashayikh said. I will put my tent over the hellfire and I will stop the people from going in it. I will save them from the hellfire. So you find that those individuals who take this man as a wali from their awliya, they make dua to this man, hoping that Yawm al-Qiyamah, he will save them from going to the hellfire. Ya Salaam, this individual's miskeen, he can't even save himself from the hellfire. If Allah intends to put him in hell, he can't save himself. So how in the world is he going to put a tent and save others? Ya Salaam. This type of hoping in the likes of this individual will save you from that is shirkiyah. This is a hope that is polytheistic. This is not proper. Likewise, you'll find individuals going to the grave, whether it is Sayyid Badawi, whether it is Hussein, whether it is, and they're writing letters, throwing it back there by the grave. Let my wife get pregnant. Let my wife get pregnant. This is a thing that is by the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is not a single individual, be he a medical professional or otherwise, that can guarantee a woman will get pregnant. There is not a single individual who can guarantee and make a pregnancy happen if Allah ta'ala does not allow it. The children come from Allah ta'ala. Allah ta'ala causes some of them to have all of one sex. Allah Ta'ala causes other of them to have both sex, male and female children. And Allah Ta'ala decrees for others from amongst them that they will have no children, that they will be barren. So when it comes to the likes of these things only come from Allah. So if an individual wants for his wife to become pregnant and the like, or a woman wants for herself to become pregnant, ask Allah. Ask Allah. No one from the human beings can guarantee any of this. Ask Allah. Ala kulli hal. This is important that we point out this particular point, and that is to hope in good of that which only Allah can provide. So if an individual hopes in that, in the like of what we have mentioned, then his hope is polytheistic. فلا يجوز أن ترجو غير الله فيما لا يقدر عليه إلا الله. So it is not permissible to intend other than Allah in those things in which only Allah has the ability to do. وأما الرجاء في الأمور العادية. See again now, but as far as the hope in those everyday affairs, and likewise, and we keep stressing this, this is the way of Ahlul Sunnah. This is the way of Ahlul Sunnah, in the middle course. We don't tell people don't hope in nothing, that's it, only hope in Allah, that's it. No, but it's the middle course. Those things that only Allah can do, then you hope for those things in only Allah. But those things that are from the everyday hopes and the like, then you can hope from those created beings in those things in which they have the ability to facilitate and to do. The Shaykh, he brings examples. He says, كَأَنْ تَرْجُ مِنْ شَخْصٍ and يُعْتِيكَ الْمَالًا. He said, like for example, you hope somebody gives you money. You hope someone gives you money. Now, this is okay. So for the children, for example, and even as some of us grown men, you know, it may be the habit of your parents that when you see them, they give you a couple dollars. You could be a grown man. You know how the parents are. And as parents, we know no matter how old a child gets, he's still my baby. So you may see them, you may see the grandparent, and they give you some money. They give you $20 here, $30 there, $100 check there, and the like. This is from their habit. So for an individual to hope Then when I go see my ummi, maybe she'll give me some money. Maybe I'll give it like this or I'll spend like that. Then this is okay. Because she has the ability to what? To give you that money. She has the ability to give you that money. Maybe you might run into your brother and your brother is generous. So you're hoping you say, well, I hope he, give me some money. And he gives you money in the life. Then la ba'as. But don't beg. Don't be begging. This is not something praiseworthy in Islam to beg. But in any event, a person hopes that something is given to him without him asking. This is okay because that person has the ability to do that. The Shaykh says, أو يساعدك فيما يقدر عليه, or that he helps you out in something in which he has the ability to do. So maybe an individual, he's moving, so he hopes that the brothers in the masjid can help him move. So he comes to the masjid and he tells the brothers after one of the prayers, listen, ikhwan, I'm moving on this particular day. Can someone give me a hand with the move? Can someone give me a hand with the move? Help me load the truck, unload the truck, and the like. He can hope in that. That's okay. Because this is within the realm of possibility or the ability of those in which he's hoping in. This is fine. The Shaykh says, وَهَذَا لَيْسَ مِنَ الْعِبَادَةِ. And of course, this is not for worship. That a person, he hopes his brother will help him with his move. He hopes his brother will help him move the couch and the like. And of course, this is not from worship. This is okay. This is not what is intended. The Shaykh, he says, for example, a person تقول, for example, you say, يا أخي أرجوك أن تعطيني كذا وكذا. Like you say to your brother, listen man, I hope you can give me this and that. مما يقدر عليه, from that which he has the ability to do. ولكن لا ترجو مخلوقا فيما لا يقدر عليه إلا الله. But rather, we do not, or however, we do not intend from a created being that which none has the ability to do except Allah. So when it comes to going to the Jannah, when it comes to being in a good situation, Yawmul Qiyamah, when you meet Allah Ta'ala and the like, then we don't hope that any human being, that any created thing will help us out in these affairs, because they don't have the ability to help us in these affairs. So likewise, this is why we don't make dua to any wali from the awliya. The dua huwa al-ibadah. Supplication, it is ibadah. But these individuals will say we make dua to them so that they can help us out. Make dua to them so that they can intercede with us in front of Allah Ta'ala. Make dua for them so that when we meet Allah Ta'ala, it's a little more easy on us. These individuals don't have the ability to do that. We know from the authentic hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that the people will go to this Nabi, then after that Nabi, and then to the next Nabi, because they want the judgment to start. So they will say, could you intercede with Allah so that the judgment can begin in the life? And so all of the Anbiya will say, Nafsi, Nafsi. Myself, what about myself? Go to such and such. They will go to and they will say, Nafsi, Nafsi. I'm worried about myself. Go to such and such and the like. So if the Anbiya will be worried about themselves, Yawmul Qiyamah, how in the world do we think that a wali from the awliya going to be able to help us Yawmul Qiyamah? How? If the Anbiya are going to be saying, Nafsi, Nafsi, what do you think other than them are going to be saying? Until it will come to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because this is for Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then he will go and he will prostrate to Allah Ta'ala, and he will make supplications with that which Allah would inspire him to supplicate with, for the amount of time that he will do that, until Allah Ta'ala will tell him, raise your head and ask. Raise your head and ask, it will be granted. Raise your head and ask, seek for intercession or to intercede, and it will be granted. Ala kulli hal. The likes of these things we have to ask or hope in only Allah Ta'ala, that will be saved from the hellfire, saved from the punishment of the grave, saved Yawmul Qiyamah and the like. The Shaykh, he mentions those who have a hope in other than Allah. He said, كَالَّذِي يَرْجُونَ الْأَمْوَاتِ وَالْغَائِبِينَ وَالْجِنِّ. Like those who they have a hope, and those ones who are dead, or they have a hope, and those ones who are not present, or they have a hope in the jinn. وَهَذَا الرَّجَاءِ عِبَادَةً. He said this type of hope is ibadah. لَا يَجُوزُ. It's not permissible that it be given to other than Allah Ta'ala. And huwa shirk akbar, and it is major shirk. If it's given to other than Allah, then it constitutes major polytheism. Major polytheism. So now let us listen to what Allah Ta'ala, He tells us. For those of us who want to prepare, for those of us who want to have the right type of hope, Allah Ta'ala, He says, فَمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو لِقَاءَ رَبِّهِ. And whoever he is anticipating, he's hoping the meeting with his Lord, Allah Ta'ala tells us what to do. Don't pray to no wali. Don't make shirk. Nah, don't do that. Allah Ta'ala tells us that whoever is anticipating and hoping in the meeting with his Lord, فَلْيَعْمَلْ عَمَلًا صَالِحًا, then do righteous good deeds. What do you got to do? A person, he wants to be in a good position Yawm al-Qiyamah. He wants to be saved from the torment of the grave. He wants to be saved from the hellfire and the like. He wants to be entered into Jannah. Allah Ta'ala is telling you what to do now. Then what? You perform righteous good deeds upon what? Upon the Tawheed. What's to prove the righteous good deed upon Tawheed? Allah Ta'ala goes on to say, وَلَا يُشْرِكْ بِعِبَادَةِ رَبِّهِ أَحَدًا, and he does not associate partners with his Lord with anyone. He does not associate partners in the worship of his Lord. He does not pray to other than Allah Ta'ala. He does not make shirk. He does not make shirk. So he's working righteous good deeds upon what? Upon Tawheed. Because a deed without Tawheed is not really a deed. Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't count. It's blown away like dust. It means nothing. The only deeds that will count are those deeds upon Tawheed, those deeds that comply with the Sunnah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Any deed that is missing one or more of these conditions, then it will not count. So it is incumbent that if we are looking forward to meeting Allah Ta'ala, then we start from now. If he wasn't already doing it, then we start to do it. If we were already doing it, then we continue to do it. We continue to put our trust in Allah, to ask Allah, to beg Allah to help and aid and assist us in it. فنسأل الله تعالى أن يوفقني وإياكم لما يحبه ويرضى وأن يجعلنا من الذين يستمعون قولا فيتبعون أحسنا وأن يجعلنا مباركا حيثما كنا وأن يجعلنا ممن إذا أعطي شكر وإذا ابتلي صبر وإذا أذنب استغفر فإن هؤلاء ثلاثة عنوان السعادة. هذا يا عباد الله فأقيموا الصلاة فإن الصلاة تنهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر.